So I have a special guest in today's video. It is this little guy right here. He's my third eye. So basically, Caleb from Insane Reader and I are twins now. And yeah, say hi. He's probably gonna be here for a while. Hello everybody, my name's Hannah and today I want to tell you guys all about all of my favorite books. Okay, actually that was kind of a lie because I genuinely enjoy almost all of the books I read and I picked 5 of them to show you guys today. So I'm gonna work my way up from like my 5th favorite book to my favorite book. The 5th one being I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I read this book like 2 summers ago for the Booktubeathon. And I loved it so much, but if you ask me what happened in it now, I probably couldn't tell you much about the plot because it's pretty fuzzy. But I remember falling so in love with Jandy Nelson's writing style and the way she describes things, and it was so beautiful. And also the characters, and I actually wrote a few songs about this book, and the characters in it, Brian and Noah, I think. And yeah, it was overall just amazing. I remember being totally shook by all the things that happened in this book. And yeah, I'd highly recommend it, and I also really want to reread it soon. And then this next book doesn't really need much explanation, but that is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This is the 3rd and final book in the Infernal Devices trilogy, and it was such a ride. Like, this book made my heart happy, but it also tore my heart into a billion little pieces. And everything that happened in this book was just so perfect, and I'm so in love with it. And I also love Jem Carstairs with all my heart, so there's that. And then this next book is the 3rd book in the Percy Jackson series, and that is The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. Okay, so this series and I go way back. I fell in love with this series like 5 or 6 years ago, and before that I was obsessed with the movies, and these are the books that showed me that I really love to read. And this one is my favorite in it just because we're introduced to Nico D'Angelo and Bianca D'Angelo and Rachel Dare, and I feel like this is where the plot like really picks up and gets things going. And Percy Jackson will always mean the world to me, and it will forever be my favorite Rick Riordan book. Okay, so we have 2 books left on this list. One of them was my favorite book for a really long time, and then the last time I read it, something was different. It just wasn't the same. And then this other book I read for the first time like a year and a half ago. Not a year and a half ago. A little less than a year and a half ago. And I'm so in love with the story and the characters. And so yeah, I guess this is my way of saying that these last 2 are in no particular order. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about Rainbow Rowell's Fangirl first. So this book I read for the first time over 4 years ago, and I was instantly able to relate to Kath. She was me. Like, she's a super anxious person, I'm a super anxious person. She writes fanfiction, I used to write fanfiction. She's a huge fangirl, I'm a huge fangirl. And there's a billion other things that like aren't mentioned in the book, but just like the way she presents herself and the little things she does, I was able to relate to. And she's also a college freshman, and I've always been obsessed with the idea of college. And so yeah, this book will always mean the world to me. Like I said earlier, the last time I read it was like 6 months ago, and it was harder to read. Reading it made me very sad and anxious, and I think that's because I've changed so much. And so being inside the head of a character who is so anxious and who is kind of a loner and who is a huge nerd was kind of hard for me because I hadn't been reading. I'd made so many new friends. And so I don't really know what I'm saying, but yeah. While it was hard to read, and it'll probably be hard to read next time too, this book will still always mean the world to me. And then we have, oh, who's texting me? Aw, Alex, I love you. Alex is watching this. Alex is my booktube friend. Oh, she sent me a picture of her dog. I'm gonna leave her channel in the description below because I think she's trying to hit like 200 subscribers before her 1-year anniversary, and she's amazing and she totally deserves it. Go give her all the love. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna finish off this favorites video with a book. My dog's barking. Thanks for that. And so if I can stop being interrupted, I have one last book to talk about, And that is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albert Holly. I read this book for the first time like over a year ago. And it I loved it so much, and then I reread it last summer and I loved it even more. And then I reread it in the fall and I loved it even more, and I got put in this group chat with other people who loved this book, and one of those girls in it actually lives like 10 minutes away from me, and she's transferring to my school next year. And so it's not just like the book itself that's amazing and that I love, but it's everything that's come along with it. I saw this movie for the first time on opening day with that friend. Her name's Tegan. She's amazing and I love her so much. And then I saw it like 2 times in theaters after that with one of my best friends, Rihanna, and a few other people. And actually the 3rd time I saw it in theaters, it was during testing week, and so my school always lets us out like at lunch every day that we test. And so we went to like the 1 o'clock movie or whatever, and the theater was just like full of kids from my school, and it was so cool. And yeah, so I'm gonna actually talk about the book now. It's, oh man, Okay, so first of all, I'm so in love with Becky Albert Holly's writing style. It's like she understands teenagers, you know, and like what we do and the things we think and the way we talk, and like some authors have like a very hard time capturing that, but in this book at least, she had it like nailed. And then we have Simon and his family and his friends who are all so perfect, and I would love to be a part of their friend group, please and thank you. And then there's Martin, who's kind of an asshole, and Blue, who's like one of my favorite characters, and I will protect him till the end of time because he is so precious and perfect. And then aside from all of those things, I kind of like am Simon Spear in a way. I mean, I'm not gay, but as stated in the movie, his wardrobe is like exclusively hoodies, and like I literally only dress nice for videos. And he has a ton of amazing friends, but he also spends a lot of time in his head, which is me. And another big thing, like the big thing that stuck out to me the first time I read this, was his family, and how they're so obsessed with every little thing that he does and every little change that happens in his life. And that is the reason why this story means so much to me, because that was so relatable. And there's this paragraph in it that I can't find, but it's about how he feels like he's stuck in a box, and every time he tries to get out of it, he's pushed back in, or something like that. And that's like 100% me and how I feel and how my family dynamic is. And so yeah, I could literally talk about this book for hours and not get tired. But basically, this book just means a whole lot to me. And shout out to everybody who's followed me in the past few days. There are so many new people watching my videos, and I love each one of you guys so much. So thank you a lot for that. And yeah, I don't know if I said it already, but thanks for watching. You can like and comment and subscribe if you want to do those things. My social media links are in the description, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks again, and goodbye. Also, like, let's take a moment to appreciate how much of the hair dye has, like, washed out of my hair. And, like, it's so sad.